أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته and welcome to another one of your G1 classes, everybody. I hope you are all doing well today, inshallah, and jazakumullah to everyone for arriving to the class today on time. As always, we are going to start off our class with an opening prayer. And for that, I would like to call a student to the mic. So could I please request student G833 to unmute themselves? Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
I'm good too, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So do you want to start off with the ta'awudh and tasmiyah, and then inshallah I'll lead you into the prayer, okay?
Okay. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Well done, mashallah. And do you want to repeat after me? Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas sami'ul alim. Well done, mashallah. Very, very nicely recited. And could you also read out the English translation for us, please?
Our Lord, accept from us, for you are all hearing, all knowing. Jazakallah, Allah Hafiz.
Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Allah Hafiz. That was beautifully recited. Jazakallah. And that was Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 128. So in today's class, our structure is slightly different. But before we get into the structure, let's just quickly talk about what you covered during the course of this week. Okay, so during this week, you covered extended elongation, and you learned two types of extended elongation. So normally we know that, you know, if a letter has got a vertical fatha, we should prolong it for 2 seconds. If a letter has got a fatha, just a simple fatha, we prolong it for 1 second. But there are cases where you prolong letters for more than just 2 seconds. And that is known as extended elongation. Hence why it's extended, it's prolonged. Now, there were two types, Madd Saghir over here and Madd Kabir. Madd Saghir was like that little wave, like an S kind of sign, it looks like, on top of a letter. And whenever a Madd Saghir comes on top of a letter, you prolong it for 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, 3 to 5 seconds. It's up to you. Want to prolong it for 3, 4, or 5 seconds, but that is the timing we're looking at. And alternatively, with Madd Kabir, you are prolonging a letter for 4 to 6 seconds. Okay, 4 to 6 seconds. So Madd Kabir we prolong for longer as compared to Madd Saghir. And this is the rule that you all covered during the Mondays and Tuesdays lesson. And then on Wednesdays and Thursday, you did a bit of practice and revision. In today's breakout room sessions, inshallah, when we open them, you're just going to be practicing these two rules and applying all the rules you have learned previously to your recitations today. Okay, but I am aware that you were also told that today there's going to be a quiz, so inshallah we are going to proceed with that now. Okay, I'm pretty sure the announcement for that was made. So this is just a quiz to test for your knowledge of the different rules and regulations of the Holy Quran, okay? Nothing to be scared of. It's everything that we've learned so far. And please use this quiz as an indication to tell you what things you need to go over, what are your weak points, and you know what you need to work on a bit more. All right? So it's just a fun way for us to remember some of the things that we are learning during our lessons. And there are just a few rules to consider here, quite a few only. You will have the question displayed on screen, so you'll have the question right in front of you. And with each question, you will be given 4 options. So it's multiple choice. You'll be given 4 options to choose from. Now, as the question appears on your screen, we will then launch a poll, which will give you a chance to select the correct answer that you think is right. Okay, so you will then answer the questions on the poll that will then appear on your screen, and make sure to press submit. Okay, once you've selected the multiple choice answer, you press submit so the answers can come through to us. And also make sure that you try and do this by yourself without any help from anyone else in the family, because it's just a good way, a fun way for you to just test your knowledge, really. But however, if you really require help, then you may ask for help. And then the answer will later on be displayed on screen as well. Okay, so we are going to start off with our first question right here. First question is, what do you do when reading soft elongation? What do you do when reading soft elongation? The poll should appear on your screen now. Option number 1 says you read it for 1 count, you prolong it for 2 counts, you prolong it for 3 to 5 counts, or you prolong it for 4 to 6 counts. What do you do when you read soft elongation? Okay, just a couple of more seconds, everybody. All right, amazing. We've got some answers coming through now. Jazakumullah. Okay, so mostly 56% of you all voted for prolong it for 2 counts, which is indeed the correct answer. You do prolong it for 2 counts. Remember, soft elongation is all about vowelline and yalin. Okay. Let's take a look at our next question. Question number 2. Yalin is when, and here are your options, everybody. Take a look at the answers now. Yalin is when ya comes straight after a letter carrying a fatha. Yalin is when sakin ya comes straight after a letter carrying a fatha. Yalin is when ya carries a sukoon, or it's a blank ya. So when will the rule of yalin be applied? Just a couple of more seconds, everybody. Okay, well done, everybody. We've got some answers coming through here. The most popular answer here with 42% is sakin ya coming straight after a letter that carries a fatha. And that is indeed the correct answer. So remember, this is an example of soft elongation. When you have a ya sakin and the letter right before it, or the letter joining to the ya sakin, has got a fatha on top, that's when we apply the rule of soft elongation and softly prolong the letter for 2 seconds. Okay, now let's move on to our next question here. Vowelline is when, and here are your following options. I've launched the poll now if you have a read with me. So vowelline is when vowel carries a sukoon. It's when it's a blank vowel. It's when sakin vowel comes straight after a letter carrying a fatha. It's when vowel comes straight after a letter carrying, sakin vowel. You've got 2 options: sakin vowel carrying, having a letter before it that carries fatha, or just a simple vowel having a letter before it that carries a fatha. So when would the rule of vowelline be applied? Okay, just a couple of more seconds. All right, amazing. Let's take a look at what you've all answered. So majority have said it is a vowelline is when sakin vowel comes after a letter carrying a fatha, and that is indeed correct. Okay, just like the rule of yalin, the same rule with vowelline applies as well. They're just 2 different letters, but remember to softly elongate for 2 seconds. Good, well done, everybody. Moving on to our 4th question. Here it is. Which of these is yalin? Okay, so now you've got 2 examples. You have a ha, number 1, with a fatha, and there is a ya sakin. And then on the second example, you have a dal with a kasra and a ya sakin. So which of these shows the rule of yaleen? Okay, and if you can start selecting the answers now, you've got number 1, you've got number 2, number 1 and 2, or neither. So which of these is an example of yaleen? Okay, just a couple of more seconds, everybody. All right, we're going to end the poll here. So majority, 50% said it's number 2. And we had 40% saying it's number 1. Now, the correct answer is number 1. So unfortunately, majority did not get it right. And that is because if you can see here, there is a ya sakin. So with the rule of yaleen, remember, there is a ya sakin. And if the letter before it carries a fatha, we softly prolong it for 2 seconds. And in this case, all of those conditions are met. You've got a ya sakin, which has a letter before it carrying a fatha. However, in this example, you have a ya sakin and the letter before it doesn't carry a fatha. It instead carries a kasra. So the rule applied here would just be normal elongation. And over here, it would be soft elongation. So you're going to say di for 2 seconds here. And you're going to say hey for 2 seconds here. Okay. So the answer to that was number 1. Now let's carry on to our 5th question. Which of these is not alif or hamza sakin? So you've got 4 choices here. You can choose which one's not an example of alif hamza sakin. And let's take a look at the options. You've got noon joining to alif sakin, na, okay? Ta joining to a hamza sakin, tu. You have ba joining to a hamza sakin, bi. And you have a ya with a fatha and also a blank alif. So we're going to say ya. So which of these following is not an example of alif or hamza sakin? So the options should appear on your screen now. Is it 1, 2, 3, or number 4? Which one of these is not an example of alif hamza sakin? Perfect. So I'm going to end the poll here for you all. So majority, 64% said number 4, which is indeed the correct answer. Well done, everybody. So just to remember a couple of things. Alif and hamza sakin, as it says in the name, is literally just applying when the rule only applies when there is an alif with a sukoon or a hamza with a sukoon. However, in this 4th example here, this alif is blank. It's got no sukoon on it. So therefore, this example would not demonstrate alif or hamza sakin. Okay? So let's take a look at our next question. Question number 6. Which of these is true for this example? And you have got here an example from one of the exercises that we've done, okay? وَادْخُلُوا الْبَابَ. Okay, so you now have got 4 options and you need to choose which of these is not true for the following example that you can see on screen. If I launch the poll now, you've got option number 1, which says ignore every letter without a stroke. It says you should ignore all the letters in red. You should read every letter, or you should ignore all letters in black. So which of these would be true for this example that you can read on display? Okay, in just a couple of more seconds, everybody. All right, amazing. We're going to stop the poll here. Okay, so mostly 64% have said that you should ignore all the letters in red, which is indeed the correct answer. Okay, well done. all the letters here in between don't really carry a stroke, which is one of the options that you saw. But here we're more so concerned about the rule of wasl. Okay, remember wasl means to combine or to join. And we join letters and combine letters through jazm and tashdeed, sukoon and tashdeed or shadda. These two signs tell us when to join letters together, and you join those letters to the most recent mutaharrik letter, a letter which carries a stroke. And all of these letters highlighted in red do not carry the strokes, any kind of stroke, so they're not mutaharrik, and therefore we will ignore all of these letters in red. And that was the rule of wasl. Okay, let's take a look at the next example. Question number 7. So which of these is true for this example? All right, so if I read this out to you, لَقُلْ الَّذِينَ. So if I display the following options to you, everybody. So which one of these is true is for the example that I just read. Option number 1, you shouldn't press on the lam mushaddad. Option number 2, ignore all the letters in red. Option number 3, read every letter. And option number 4, ignore all letters in black. So which of these is true for this example? And I'm going to give you all just a couple of more seconds to just submit in your answers now. All right, amazing. And we are going to end the poll here. So this time we had a vast majority of 82% say that you should ignore all the letters in red, which is indeed the correct answer. Well done, everybody. That was very nicely answered. I think this was one of the strongest questions with the most positive results here. So well done. Let's take a look at our next question. Question number 8. So how long is madde saghir? How long is madde saghir? And I did talk about this in the beginning of the class. So hopefully those of you listening will be able to answer this question correctly. If you take a look at the options, I've launched the poll now. Do you prolong a madde saghir for 1 count, for 2 counts, for 3 to 5 counts, or for 4 to 6 counts? How long do we prolong a madde saghir for? Okay, and just a couple of more seconds, everybody. Perfect. And we're going to end the poll here. So again, a vast majority of 72% of you have said 3 to 5 counts. Let's see if that is the correct answer. And indeed it is. Well done, everybody. So madde saghir, you should only prolong it for 3 to 5 seconds. Okay. And looking at our next question, question number 9, it says, how long is madde kabir? So we've spoken about madde saghir already. So how long do you reckon we should prolong a letter that carries a madde kabir? And if you want to have a go at it now, is it for 1 count, for 3 to 5 counts, for 4 to 6 counts, or for as long as you want? So how long is madde kabir? And I'm just going to give you all a couple of more seconds. Okay, I'm going to end the poll here. So majority have said 88%. So majority of 88% have said 4 to 6 counts, which is indeed the correct answer. Well done, everybody. So we're all getting the hang of it now. Madde saghir for 3 to 5 seconds and madde kabir for 4 to 6 seconds. So here is your next question. What is a letter that carries a fatha called? And here are your options. If you want to submit the right answer in, maftuh, makthur, madmoom, or ishbaiya. What is a letter that carries a fatha called? And I am going to end the poll here now for you guys. So majority, 76%, said it is maftuh, which is actually the correct answer. Well done, everybody. So a letter carrying a fatha is called a maftuh letter. Our next question, question number 11 says, which of these is shortest? So which of these is shortest, everybody? Here are your options. You have maftuh waw, a waw mad, waw leen, or mad saghir. Which of these do we prolong for the shortest amount of time? Going to give you all a couple of more seconds. Okay, and we're going to end the poll here. So, majority of you all, or 58%, have said maftuh waw is what you will prolong for the shortest. And that is indeed the correct answer. Well done. Maftuh waw is literally a letter of waw, basically, that carries a fatha on top. So we prolong it for only 1 second. Very short amount of time. Let's take a look at our next question. Which of these is longest? Which of these is longest? And here are your options, everybody. Is it maftuh alif, alif mad, mad saghir, or mad kabir? Which of these would you prolong for the longest? And I'm just going to give you all just a couple of more seconds. Okay, amazing, everybody. I'm going to end the poll here now. And the majority of you have said Mad Kabir, 77% of you said that. So that is actually indeed the correct answer. Well done, everybody. So this was the quiz for you. Don't worry if you didn't get all of the answers correct. Just remember that we learn things as we go along, okay? And the best way to learn stuff is by getting things wrong, actually, because then you remember it for longer. And remember, the Holy Quran is a lifelong journey, so you will always be learning something new, okay? Well done to everybody for participating in the quiz. And you know, if there is something this time that you've not understood, or some questions that you got wrong, now is your time to reflect back on this and practice as much as possible and make the most out of these lessons. All right, amazing. So having said that, I'm just going to ask our breakout room coordinator if the rooms are ready to open. Assalamu alaikum, breakout room coordinator.
Walaikum assalam rahmatullah. Yes, the breakout rooms are ready. I've just opened them. Can I request everyone to please join your breakout room? If you haven't been assigned to a breakout room, it's because you joined with the wrong ID or you joined with your actual name. So please make sure to rename yourself and then I will assign you to a breakout room. Jazakumullah.
Jazakumullah.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Welcome back, everyone. So I'll quickly go through the homework for tonight and the weekend. So you have to practice exercise 18.3, which you can find on the book Talimul-Quran, page 76 to 77. If you don't have the book at home, you can also find the PDF for this exercise in the Google Drive link. And you also have to practice exercise 19.1 and 19.2. These are the exercises which you also practiced in the breakout room just now. And again, you can find them on page 80 and page 81 of the Talimul-Quran PDF or the Talimul-Quran book if you have it at home. You can also, additionally, you can also continue to practice any exercises which you think need more time. Okay, so if you are struggling on a certain rule, you can go to that rule and practice those exercises. And over the weekend, again, just revise as much as possible any rules that you think you can work on or anything that needs improvement. Just go back to those lessons, go back to those exercises and practice. Okay, practice makes perfect. Okay, so we are going to end the class now with the ending prayer. Can I have G814 on the mic? Assalamu alaikum. If you can unmute yourself. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullah. Can you please recite ending prayer for everyone? Start with Bismillah.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma arhamni bil-Qur'an al-Azim. Oh Allah, have mercy on me through the